So I want to go ahead and do this opener and make sure that you guys are able to get the correct answers before moving on to the next opener. So today is actually the 10th, but this was from our snow day and then from my absence yesterday. So the first equation, it's solve for y. Now, this is much like the opener that we did on Monday where you had two variables present. Since I'm solving for y, which variable am I going to circle? If I'm solving for y, which variable do I circle? Do you have a question? You can buy one for $10. Class has started. So, if I'm solving for y, which variable am I going to circle? Y, yeah. So my goal is to get the y by itself. So if I'm going to get that y by itself, what do I all have to get rid of? Okay, what do I get rid of first, though? Okay, yes, the 3x. So how do I get rid of that 3x? Minus 3x. So if I subtract 3x from one side, I subtract it from the other. They cancel on my left. So then on my left side, I just bring down my negative 6y. Then on my right side, can I take 12 minus 3x? No, why not?
Actually, the other side would be 12 negative 3x.
Okay, good. I can't combine them, so I can't subtract them. But I always like to bring down my number with my variable first. So just reverse it.
Just reverse it.
Yeah, so it'll be negative 3x. And what kind of number is 12? A positive, so I'm going to put a plus 12. Good. Them erasers are flying. Okay, so now I need to get rid of the negative 6. Now, before you answer this, think about it. It's negative 6y. The number is touching the variable. So how am I going to get rid of that negative 6? By dividing. So I'm going to divide each side by negative 6. Now, looking at some of you guys' openers, some of you guys did a really good job on this part. It's this part here we got tripped up on. Now, on the right side here, I'm going to have to divide this entire thing by negative 6. The first thing I'm going to look at is negative 3x divided by negative 6. First of all, two negatives, when you're dividing, it's going to equal a positive. So then I have 3 divided by 6. If I take 3 divided by 6, what do I end up with?
Positive 18.
3 divided by 6, you multiplied them. No, if you take 6 divided by 3, you'll get 2. But if I take 3 divided by 6, if I take 6 divided by 3, I'll get 2. But if I take 3 divided by 6, so I get a decimal. Do I want to get a decimal? When I get a decimal, I want to leave it as a fraction. But I don't like fractions because we always have to put them in simplest form. So I'm going to come over here to the left here. So I'm going to have 3 over 6. That's my fraction. But I need to put that fraction in simplest form. So what's 3 over 6 in simplest form? Remember how to do it on your calculators? 1/2. Good. So it's going to be 1/2. And what's the variable that comes with it?
Y.
What's my variable that comes with it?
Oh, 8.
X. Okay. Then I go to my second part. I have positive 12 divided by negative 6. So what's 12 divided by negative 6? Negative 2. And that's my answer. So once you have that side completed, flip it over. We're going to make sure that you plotted all your points correctly. You guys all have this where I can flip it? Okay. So the back side. The first part of my directions say label the x-axis and the y-axis on the coordinate plane on your opener. Remember, the coordinate plane is basically my whole, or my x and my y, it's my graphing. So So if I'm going to label the x-axis, which is my x-axis? What direction does it run? So which of these lines are my x-axis? Which way does it run?
It runs from left to right.
Left to right, which also means it's what?
Horizontal?
Good, horizontal. So if my x-axis runs from left to right, my horizontal line, then my y-axis is going to be the one that runs up to down, which is my vertical line. So go ahead and label it. That will be counted as a point on the quiz. So label your x and y axis. Haley? All right. Now, before we move on, what is it called where the x and y axis intersect one another? Origin, yeah. So anytime you go to plot these points now on the coordinate plane, you tell me to always start at the origin. Because if you just tell me to go over right so many spots, I'm not going to know where to start. So always tell me to start at the origin. Now, an ordered pair, we always do the x first, then the y. Okay? So we're going to plot each of the following points on the coordinate plane and then label each with the appropriate letter. I'm just going to go around the room. So we're going to start with Isaiah. Okay, so what did Isaiah do that I didn't? Yeah, start at the origin. There you go. Now what?
What is it called?
Origin.
Origin.
Not an orgy. An origin. All right. Start at the origin.
And you go 3 times.
Which way?
What?
Because it's negative. Good. 1, 2, 3. And then what?
And you go 5 times.
And then
More.
label it.
You label it 8.
All right. Beyonce. Where do I start? I can. Darius.
B.
Yep. So letter B.
Okay. So it's a positive 2. So like,
Start at the
start at the 0.
origin, the 0, which is 0, 0. Good. So you're going to do your x first, which is 2.
Yeah. So you go sideways.
Which way? To the right
Yes.
or to the left? Good. So 1, 2. Then what?
And then you go up 2.
It's a negative 2.
Oh yeah, negative 2. So then you'll go down.
Good. And then label it.
Yeah.
What letter?
B.
Good. Okay. Let's look at letter C. Kelsey?
You stay there and then you go down.
Good. Since the x value was 0, we couldn't move anywhere on the x-axis, so I stayed there. Then I went down 3. All right. Darius. Oh, my gosh. Okay. So I remember how I sometimes want to call you Darius C. or Darius Coleman? You may not know it, but in my head. Okay. All right. Darius. Letter D. I can call you what? Darius 2 R's. Are you Darius with 1 R? Did you also notice when I went to write pencil, I couldn't figure out how to spell your name because now I'm confused that I have both Dariuses in the class and you both spell your name wrong. So you're double R. Golly. Took me first semester. How long did it take me to get Jemiah's name? Do you remember how long it took me to get your name? And now I'm going to have 2 Dariuses. 2 different spellings.
Oh, yeah, it's a cold one.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Darius with 2 R's. Letter D. What, Mumbles? Start where?
Oh, you start with the origin.
And then,
Then you go over 1.
which way?
Right.
Okay. And then,
Then you go forward.
good. And I label that
C.
D. Haley, E.
You go.
No.
What? Hold up.
Start where?
The origin.
You start at the origin.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I see.
Okay. Then what?
Okay. We're doing E. Right?
You are doing E.
Alright, sorry, my apologies.
You're all right.
You turn left 3 times.
Okay. Turn left. I like that. 1, 2, 3. Then what?
Then you go down 1.
And I label it.
Here.
And last one is going to be Devante. Why, do you guys just like hearing me say no? Start at the origin, okay? Okay. That's it, because my y value is 0, so I go ahead and graph it there on the x-axis. Nice.